Good day everyone and welcome to another informational video. This is going to be one of the longest ones as well as one of the most important ones, as today we are not only going to be covering the fact that I'm going to be changing my username, but also some interesting new series, collabs and things like that. So I hope you try to watch through all of this and let's get into it. And also, before we do that, I just like to explain that for you to keep entertained, I am going to be doing things in the background of this video. So for example, for this segment, I am going to be driving a truck horribly. But back to the name change. So firstly, you actually need to know what the name is. And before I say it, if you like it or if you don't, or if you just have an opinion on it, you can put it in the comments. I'd like to see your opinions. But the new name, and I had a few different ideas too, but after asking a bunch of friends, this one came out to be the best, and that is NeatNaut. And now that I said the name, I will in two parts try to explain why it's actually good. The first one will be the positive one, and there I will just talk about the positives of the name, and the second one will be more of the negatives one, and in that one I will talk about the negatives of the current name. Now let's start with the first part. So firstly, I think it sums up my channel pretty well, because Naut is basically a shortened version of nautical, and nautical, if you don't know, is basically like ships and stuff. So a nautical vehicle is a ship. And I build ships here, although it may not look like it from this clip where I drive a truck. But yeah, I mostly build ships. Now the neat part is there because mostly Coolline, and Coolline has a swallow as its logo, and swallows are pretty elegant, and another word for elegant is neat, and also mainly it works perfectly with the other word. Another thing I like about the name is that it's rather creative, and I am pretty sure that no one has ever used that name, so it will be easy to grow with that name and people will recognize me easily. It also rolls off the tongue. It's really fun to say. Now I believe I've gone through all of the things I wanted to say about the positive part, so let's go into the negative part and why I don't like the name I have. Now firstly, the name doesn't sum up my channel at all. It doesn't really tell the viewer what I do, and it doesn't work very much. It just really doesn't work for my persona. It isn't very much creative because there are many other channels with the same name. It is difficult to pronounce, it's not fun, and most importantly, it's not really a name that I created. It's from a different person that basically gave it over to me and I just translated it, which the translation is very much worse than the original. But yeah, I could go on and on and on about why I don't like this name, but let's now move on to something different. I hope you liked the change. I don't think I'm ever going to be changing names again because it's not my thing, but yeah, I think it's nice. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I was just enjoying a barbecue on my new yacht, which I will very gladly be using in this new segment of the video. Unfortunately, it is probably the shortest one, and you can currently hear it. Yeah, I got a new microphone, or I did not, because I realized that for all of this time I have been recording on a different bad microphone, and I needed to fix a ton of things with my computer and stuff to actually get this one working. But I have a better, I believe a better microphone, and that's cool. So now you should be able to hear me better, and it's the reason why there's a very big gap between the last video and this one. Now this is also a very important part of the video, and you probably don't recognize this bridge, and it doesn't feel like a cool line bridge because of these windows, how they're set forward, and I don't usually do that, but yeah, new ferry. And you see by delivery, this isn't a normal cool line ferry. This isn't a cool line ferry at all, because this is a collaboration ferry between me and Bagman. Is that how you're supposed to say it? I don't know. But we basically created a company that is called Pagil. I believe I'm saying that right. I think we said that's how it should be pronounced. And we will be having ferries and stuff. So this is going to be a very fun thing. This ferry, or my part of it, is basically finished. I was building the hull and the superstructure and the engines and systems on the bridge and lifeboats, and he will be building the interiors and things like that. So my part is basically finished, and I will pass that over to him, and keep an eye out for this ferry to hit the workshop, because it's a quite fun one. Now, still staying on the topic of ships, I've always wanted to build ships like a lake freighter, for example, but a lake freighter really wouldn't work for crew line, so I never came around to actually building something like it. And that's the sad truth about a lot of projects I'd love to do. They just don't fit with crew line, and so I can't really build them. But I had an idea, an interesting one at that. And that is that I could just sometimes build way simpler ships. Think of like FJ1 ships. Those are pretty simple, and that's why they're beautiful. And just put the radar and the map in them, and that's all of the systems. And just really play around with the hull and all of those things, and build something that I've really always wanted to build. And so that's what I will kind of be doing every time I will be building an official cool line ship, and I think it will be quite cool. So some of you, or actually most of you, recognize this ship, because the last video really blew up, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. But this is the next up and coming career ship, and career is a really interesting thing that I need to talk about too. So career is really fun and all, and I think you really enjoy it from the views on the videos, but I don't think it's a sustainable future for my channel. As in career, I think with this tanker and everything, we should be completely finished in some time. And I don't know if I'm really up to making another season of career, because the career mode in Stormworks just doesn't get a lot of attention, and it's just quite boring. It's very grindy and sometimes very meh. And so I really don't know what to do. Don't take this as career is going to be gone soon. This is more of a that I kind of want to branch out, and that I want to create new and actually more fun series. I don't know which those series would be, and I am definitely going to be taking suggestions. So that's that. Also, about the suggestions, I really don't think I will be taking many multiplayer ones, because firstly I don't know how to make most multiplayer ideas work, in Stormmark because there are a lot of kind of modding and servers and everything like that, so I don't know, we'll see. And also I don't have friends. And then with single player it's obviously difficult. So I will be taking suggestions and we will see at some point how career works out and everything like that. Obviously career definitely has like 20 more episodes left, so it's fine. Now, talking about branching out and everything, let's jump games for a second. And let's jump straight into Minecraft. And you may actually recognize this world because it's our survival world. And as we were just talking about career not really being that viable of a future for the channel, I think Minecraft is very much more of a viable future as it's quite infinite. We can build anything we want and stretch this out for a long time. And that's why I actually started, and also because I wanted to get back into the game. But I think Minecraft will work better for us in the long run. Now, back in Stoneworks again, let's talk about the future of Coolline and some other projects, and we will end the video on that note later. But now on to Coolline first. So with Coolline I have a ton of plans, and that is, first I want to finish off this bunch of 65-meter ships. I wanna build the tanker that we have started in last episode of career, and I need a name for that. And after that I want to build another 65-meter ship. To kind of round it off, it will be a car ferry. I still don't know if I should do either a passenger one or a full-on cargo. I'll see, you can give me some feedback on that. It will probably be a cargo one, and then it would be extremely fun to finally move on to something bigger. I think like 90 meters would be good. I am never going back to like 130 as we did with the frigate, because as much as I love that ship, it's just too laggy and too problematic. Now after that I don't have many ideas. I think I'll round it off there. Let's move on to another thing. And that is Donkworks, the destructible planes you may have seen in some videos. Now I like them, and I think they are incredibly good as a proof of concept that something like that actually works, and that you can make destructible planes with hardpoints and impact sensors. But they are very problematic in every other way. And also I want to really kind of make the lore with everything I build better. So I wanna do some cool line lore, and I think it would be fun if Cool Line did planes. But now all of the planes I did with Donkworks, they don't really fit to Cool Line, as they are problematic and sometimes buggy and just a proof of concept, which Cool Line isn't meant to be. Cool Line is meant to be polished, everything like that. So I think I will probably start with a new series where I will make destructible planes again, but just make them much more polished and take much more time on them, and just make them all in all better. And I will try to link that series up with Coolline. I will probably do like Coolyards Air, because Coolyards is a subsidiary of Coolline that builds stuff for them, and so that stuff will be quite very interesting, creating all of that lore. Now also not about Coolline but about different things, about different projects. I want to talk about the big tanker, the 180-meter one, and also the frigate. So first off with the tanker, I am probably not going back to that because it's just too old of a ship, and I think it really proves that bigger ships just don't work with me, because I like to make a lot of details, and especially when you look at any one of my bridges, they are incredibly packed of a lot of stuff, and that obviously increases lag. And for example, my new lighting systems increase lag, and that just doesn't work with bigger ships than, let's say, 80 meters or 90 meters. And so I won't ever be probably going above 90 meters. And also the tanker is just old, it has old systems, it doesn't work properly now, I don't think so. And it also looks bad. Now about the frigate, I think I've seen a lot of growth on my channel just because of that frigate and because of that series. I don't really wanna say that it's the end for that ship, but it may very well be. Because, and you've probably seen that in the last video about the ship, that is that it's just too laggy. It just doesn't work. And I really burnt out of building it. I don't know, I may revisit it and refit it, as it's also very old and I don't think the reactor works anymore. But we will see. I've also come to enjoy civilian ships a lot more because I can really play around with my colors and with my windows and everything like that. And yeah, we will see. I want to definitely make myself some kind of a military ship, of a warship, but definitely not that big. But well, we'll see, and we will see with a lot of things said in this video, especially with the name. I really want to hear some feedback on it. But I hope you enjoyed this, I hope you especially find this informative, and see ya! Also, if you've stuck around for so long, you may enjoy my videos. You may very well enjoy hearing me ramble on about building ships in an obscure vehicle builder game that doesn't have a functioning physics engine, and if you do, it may be good for you to subscribe, as I do this very often. And it would be good if you didn't miss a video, but there's obviously no pressure with that, and it's just your decision. But now really, see ya.